The moment the padlock snapped shut, the entire dock fell dead silent. Music died mid-beat, beer cans stopped halfway to mouths, and a half-deflated flamingo float bumped quietly against a piling, like it knew it didn't belong there. On the other side of the Marina gate, about 15 baffled strangers stared at me while I slid the key into my pocket. Behind me, a fresh sign reflected bright red under the lights. Marina closed after 10 p.m. Residents and registered guests only. Strong. It was 10 or 7. A guy in a backwards cap scoffed. "Bro, you can't just lock us out." Linda added sharply, "This whole dock is common property." I pointed a thumb toward the line of townhomes stretching across the boardwalk. "You don't live here. You're not registered guests, which means right now you're trespassing." The kid opened his mouth to argue, but that's when the Subaru arrived. There is always a Subaru. It drifted into the gravel lot like it was trying out for a police drama, practically sideways as it stopped. The door slammed open, and out stormed Linda Markham, president of the Blue Heron Harbor HOA, rocking a Navy windbreaker with board member embroidered like it was some kind of rank. Her eyes locked onto the chain wrapped around the Marina gate. "Caleb," she shrieked, voice echoing across the water. "You unlock that right now." "Nope," I said, completely unfazed. Linda marched toward me, visor trembling, binder under one arm, phone gripped like a weapon. "You do not have the authority to seal a shared amenity and kick out my invited guests," she barked. "This is common property, and you're interfering with official HOA operations." I gestured toward the group of half-drunk 20-somethings in matching tank tops. "You mean your Venmo customers?" Backward cap guy shifted, not making eye contact. Linda's face went crimson. "You just committed a serious violation," she spat. "And when the sheriff gets here, you're going to learn what civil liability actually means." I leaned against the fence calmly. "Funny," I said, "because I think you're about to learn something first. 6 months earlier, all I wanted was peace and the sound of water. At 36, I was a mechanical engineer with odd work hours and exactly 3 hobbies: tinkering quietly in my garage, late-night gaming, and taking my old fishing skiff out when the lake was glassy and the world felt paused. So I bought a 3-story townhome in Blue Heron Harbor, a lakeside development with its own private marina, in a town that honestly sounded made up for a real estate pamphlet: Mallard Cove, North Carolina. The brochure promised a low-maintenance lifestyle, serene waterfront living, and a secured residential marina with individually assigned slips. The realtor added, "The HOA here is very active, keeps everything looking sharp." Active, as it turned out, meant Linda Markham. Linda was in her late 40s, permanently attached to a tennis visor, retired from regional HR, and had the posture of someone who judged every chair she ever sat in. She ran the HOA like it was a military installation, and treated the marina like a royal court she alone presided over. She didn't boat, didn't fish, didn't even like being near water. But she loved saying things like amenity stewardship, tapping laminated rule sheets with her French tip nails, and reminding everyone, even when they didn't ask, that technically the HOA owns the dock structures. At first, I barely dealt with her. I paid dues, kept my place clean, nodded politely when forced, and used my assigned slip like a normal human. And point second breath on. I genuinely liked the community. Sunrise over calm water, loons calling in the morning mist, and stayed quiet. Then summer arrived, and so did the guests. The first sign something felt off came on a Saturday in June. I walked to the Marina at 7 a.m., coffee in one hand and a tackle box in the other, ready for a peaceful fishing trip. My boat was not alone. 3 complete strangers were sitting on my skiff, cooler open, chatting like they owned the place. Can I help you?" I asked. "This slip was open for use," one said casually, already strapped into a life vest. "We're part of Linda's group." I blinked at them, then at the slip number painted clearly on the dock. Then, at the HOA welcome packet, I remembered reading, where slip 12 was listed under my unit. "Who told you that?" I asked. "Linda," they said, as if that was the odd part. The second sign came 2 weeks later. I returned from a weekend trip and found beer cans in my boat, part of a melted flip-flop fused to the deck, and a mysterious puddle I chose not to investigate. I emailed the HOA board. The reply came from Linda, of course. "Hi Caleb, we've been testing a more flexible, community-oriented marina usage model. As the slips are common property under HOA oversight, we occasionally reassign usage during peak periods. Your property remains our priority. Linda." I read it twice, then grabbed the covenants. They clearly stated, no subleasing. Guests must be accompanied by residents. S*point. Quiet hours, 10 p.m. to 7 p.m. I printed the page and taped it inside a cabinet. Over the next month, the pattern solidified. Random people at the gate, claiming, "Linda said we have the code." Out-of-state plates, filling the Marina lot every weekend. Groups in matching Lake Trip 2025 shirts, taking selfies in front of the HOA sign. Every time I asked, Linda responded with some mix of shared amenity, community spirit, and the classic, "You don't own the water, Caleb." Then, one scorching July afternoon, everything clicked into place. Coming back from a run, I passed the pool and heard Linda's unmistakable voice. No, it's easy," she told a sunburned couple. "You send the deposit to my Venmo. I add you as registered guests, and you get full marina access." The HOA doesn't allow short-term rentals, so we just call it an amenity sponsorship. Way cheaper than renting dry storage. I kept walking, but my brain stopped cold. Venmo, guests, sponsorship. Later, I checked the HOA site. The guest access number forwarded directly to Linda. That night, around 11:30, I went to the docks to clear my head. The "closed at 10" sign was gone. The post was empty. The gate propped open with a rock. Music thumped from someone's speaker. A group of drunk strangers were cannonballing off the dock like it was a public lake party. That's when I began collecting evidence. Screenshots of Facebook rentals advertising private marina access, message Linda. Photos of random people on the docks at 1 a.m. Videos of late-night chaos echoing across the quiet lake. For a quiet guy, I was assembling one hell of a case. Everything finally blew open on the Saturday of the 4th of July weekend. By 9:45 p.m., the marina looked like a brochure for bad decisions. More than 20 non-residents crowded the docks. 2 oversized pontoons jammed into a single slip, tied 3 wide like a floating traffic jam. Kids sprinting across wet planks in the dark. Someone trying to light a sparkler on the fuel dock. I watched from my balcony, jaw clenched. Then my phone buzzed. It was my next-door neighbor, Jake. Block quote. "Dude, is this allowed? The baby's been woken up 3 times. Block quote. I typed back, "Nope." Then I sent a message to the number listed for County Lake Patrol. Private HOA Marina, not commercial. Overcrowded, minors drinking, fireworks on dock. HOA president selling access to non-residents. Attached. Photo. Then I headed downstairs. The marina gate, of course, was wide open again. The original lock, the one that said residents only, dangled on the side, keyhole packed with gum. Perfect. I rolled my shoulders and walked in. I kept my voice calm. All right, folks, Marina's private. It's after hours. Time to wrap it up. A woman on a pontoon looked offended. We paid for this access. To who? I asked. Linda, someone yelled while elbow deep in a cooler. She added us to the list. Cool, I said flatly. Then congratulations, you've been scammed. A chorus of boos. One guy puffed his chest like he wanted to fight. Relax, I said. I'm not charging you. I'm telling you to go home. Quiet hours started 10 minutes ago. And a crowd like this? Not covered by the HOA's insurance. So if someone slips, gets hurt, or sets the dock on fire with those sparklers, you're all on your own. That got some nervous glances. You can head to the public ramp a mile that way, I added. They stay open late. But here, you're done. Parentheses, cursing, and a few dramatic sighs followed. But slowly they trickled off the docks, dragging coolers toward the parking lot. Once the last group passed through the gate, I kicked the rock away, shut the gate, and pulled out, strong, my own heavy-duty chain and lock. I looped it, snapped it shut, and pocketed the key. I turned to leave, just as headlights washed over me. I recognized the silhouette instantly. Before I could move, Linda launched herself out of her Subaru, like it had ejected her. What do you think you're doing? She screeched. Open it, right now. My guests are coming back. Your guests, I said slowly, are not residents. They are not on any approved list. They're customers, which makes this, I swept my arm around, an unlicensed, uninsured, illegal commercial operation on a residential marina. Don't you dare accuse me. Blue and red lights flashed at the end of the road. 2 sheriff cars rolled in. Behind them, a white truck marked County Lake Patrol. A guy in a life jacket stepped out holding a clipboard. Linda went ghost white, then red, then ghost white again. Fantastic, I said pleasantly. Let's all have a little chat about common property. What followed was 20 minutes of slow-motion disaster for Linda. The sheriff's deputy, a tired-looking woman with a ponytail that screamed, "I've seen enough lakeside stupidity for one lifetime," took statements. I explained everything with documentation. I own Unit 302, with Slip 12 assigned. Strangers repeatedly found on my boat. Marina overrun with parties, drinking. Noise, F. P. Gate lock vandalized, F. After hours rules ignored, F. Evidence suggesting Linda was selling access, F. Linda tried to laugh it off, F. Oh, this is Caleb again, she said. He thinks he owns the dock. It's all common property. I'm maximizing amenity value. We host community engagement events, F. You host them for strangers, I said. Like this. F. I held up my phone and zoomed in on a Facebook post. Block taupe. F. Weekend marina package, $200. Private dock access, gate code, and slip use. Message Linda M. for details. F. Block toke. The Lake Patrol officer leaned in. That you? Linda's smile strained so hard it looked painful. People exaggerate online. Those are my personal guests. As president, I can designate. No, the officer interrupted. That you absolutely cannot. The HOA's lease with the county classifies this marina as private residential only. No commercial use. If the HOA operates or allows commercial activity, we can revoke your permit. He flipped to the highlighted clause. Linda's jaw dropped. The deputy added, "We also received 3 noise complaints tonight, plus evidence of fireworks and drinking on the fuel dock. All violations of your own bylaws." One of the strangers, still lingering, spoke up. "We just sent her the deposit on Venmo. She said the HOA likes the extra cash." The deputy slowly turned to Linda. "He sent the money as HOA fees?" The guy shook his head. "Nope, Venmo, to her." Then he added helpfully, with a heart emoji. Right then, another cruiser pulled in. An officer showed something to the Lake Patrol guy on a tablet. Phrases drifted over. Prior complaints. Pattern. Possible misuse of funds. The deputy faced Linda. "Ma'am, I need your official statement regarding Marina access and your role in granting it. You're not under arrest, but I strongly suggest contacting your HOA's attorney." Linda jabbed a finger at me. "He locked the emergency exit. He should be cited. That gate is common property." The Lake Patrol officer cut in sharply. "That is not an emergency exit. It's a controlled access point, which per your lease, must be locked after hours. Frankly, his lock is the first intelligent thing I've seen tonight." The deputy glanced at me. "You willing to unlock it if needed?" "Sure," I said. "Once everything's sorted and the close sign is back up. I'm not trapping anyone in, just keeping drunk strangers out." "That's fine," she replied. For the first time, Linda seemed to realize the Titanic she was captaining was already halfway underwater. "Caleb," she hissed, "you are making a powerful enemy tonight. When the board hears—" "Funny you mention that," I said calmly, "because the board's about to hear from more than just you."